All right, now on the opposite end of things, we have the entrepreneur bro-ner culture, where so this is this week's bum steer, which this isn't the first time we've talked about the sort of hustle and grind set, sort of like just a start up your way out of poverty, sort of sale. Now, I do want to preface this by saying I am not 100% sure that this guy isn't doing a bit at Sweaty's startup, Nick Huber, but he does. If it is, his commitment is outstanding, and he has an open invitation to this show because he has something like he has over 6-figure followers. I can't remember if it's 117 or 170. One of those, a 7 rings in my mind. I didn't feel like looking it up again, but lots of followers for this startup stuff, the scam shit, what I would call it, like I like where you're selling people. It's prosperity gospel, the sort of like Patagonia sweatshirt version. And so let's just put up this, and Side Hustle King here said later that he didn't mean to just put $50. He meant to say put a higher number. I just want to put that up before I share this tweet. But here's our so Side Hustle King says, would you rather get paid $1 million right now or $50 every month for the rest of your life? Again, this original poster did say he wouldn't have said 50, but even at 500, it's not even close, I should say. Yeah. You have to get to 5,000 to get like within like a reasonable amount of years to make this even close. You have to get $5,000 a month. But anyway, despite that typo, despite it just being $50 a month versus $1 million right now, at Sweaty Startup jumped in and said, "Be all day. What people don't understand is that $500,000 will be paid in taxes." Oh, well, people didn't understand that, which I don't know why he's. First of all, like, this is a hypothetical situation, so how do you know it's not tax free? Like this, yeah, that's true. Like, it's not like there's like a situation where this actually happens. Like, oh, actually, people always expect when they do the thing where they have to choose between $50 and $1 million, that actually the government takes half of that. Okay, so anyway, he's imposing the thing and saying this is what people don't understand. Then he says, $50 a month can be used to pay my cell phone bill, which I'd use to make more money, or my internet bill, which I'd use to get smarter and make more money. Maybe, yeah, exactly. Maybe you go to
invest in yourself, Matt. You're against that?
First of all, the internet bill is not $50 a month. I don't know. Like, if you find that, good luck. I mean, I don't remember even Fargo internet being that cheap. Although to be fair, I was probably paying for cable. But yeah, you go to patreon.com/leftreckoning. You can get smarter. And I don't know if it's better than $1 million right now, but good.
Oh, no. I mean, let's just like be very clear about how stupid the math is, because it has to be noted, right? So, I mean, right, what, $50 a month, right, times 12 is what, 6,000 a year, right?
Yep.
So what's 6,000 times 100?
600,000.
Right? 6,000 times 100?
Yep.
Yeah. This, you could be paying yourself. This is if you live 100 damn years, right? Like, you immediately exceed this if you just take the million, even, I mean, maybe not over 100 years, right? But even like by any kind of reasonable measure of like your lifespan, you easily exceed this with just the $500,000 up front. Also, I like how they phrase this. Would you rather get paid $1 million right now or $50 every month, which is a hilarious bargain. Anybody who, might be in a position where they might be paying, man, I'll sell you a house. Like, could I buy your house from you, Matt, from your family?
Sure.
I can either pay them $1 million or I'll pay them $50 a month.
Yeah.
Like, insane that anybody would ever accept that.
Exactly, just because
bad capitalist.
Yeah, like exactly right. Like passive income, the whole idea that kind of like, which a Side Hustle mentions in the original tweet, like he would take option B. That's what passive income is. No, you can how do I want to phrase this? because I'm a little bit distracted by the next part, but like, you can make money with the money, right? Like you can have the $1 million and invest it and make way more money than that $50 that your call-in passes from. You can have real passive income with $1 million, and not like that's like some sort of stipend like installment system. But okay, let's go to the next part because Nick Huber's not done actually. Dr. Parik Patel, BACFA, ACA Esquire says, "Sir, with respect, this is the wrong choice. $50 a month is $600 a year. So even we were doing.
Oh yeah,
it's
so
like
it's $60,000.
Right. $600 on 500K is a yield of just a 12 hundredths of a percent. I could invest that $500,000 in treasuries and make a better return. To the point we just made. Nick Huber comes back and says,
just alpha shit right here.
Like new paragraph every fucking point. Let's do it. You don't understand scale. Use $50 to buy 10 tomato plants. Okay, interesting. $5 a plant. Maybe that's something. In 6 months, you'll have 250 tomato plants. Plant those 250 plants. 6 months, you'll have 6,250 plants. Plant them. 6 months, you'll have 156,000 tomatoes. Plant them. 6 months, you'll have 3.9 million tomatoes. Sell them for $1 each. Boom! Nailed it. I mean, that's scale, right?
Mm-hmm. And look, I mean, this is why every rich person I've ever met has been a tomato farmer, because that's gold, right? I mean, this is just 1 year's profits, too. This is the...
Well, that's 6 months, so that's about 2 years. 2 years, because you have to replant them every time.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, you're right. Sorry.
So it just it's exponential growth for tomatoes. Of course, my question, which is on the side of the screen there, is where do you fucking plant? I mean, okay, plant 10 tomatoes. I can maybe figure out how to plant 10 tomatoes. Like, I can maybe ask my landlord if I could access the backyard here. Maybe I could, we don't have roof access, but maybe I could put up a ladder, maybe I could do 250 tomato plants if I include the roof here. 6,000 to 156,000 tomato plants. And first of all, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna plant 156,000 tomato plants, supporting myself on the allowance of $50 that I'm getting per month. That's plenty to support. Yeah.
Well, he's also not even using his passive income well, because he should be using all of those extra $50 to be buying more and more tomatoes, right? He's really shooting himself in the foot, right? He could be tripling.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I mean, it's like really funny to read this, especially as a proud owner of 12 very, very healthy tomato plants that I've been growing. It's a lot of work, just managing a small garden out here. Well, along with the fact that, as Matt is alluding to, it takes up a decent amount of space, and to act like you could do that without having to buy, like let's just accept, by the way, the absurd notion that you're selling your tomatoes for $1 tomato,
right? And
you're making millions of dollars each year on your like small investment of $50. That's all it takes to start a tomato farm. The land alone, let alone the labor that would be necessary to operate, to make this operation function, are just incredible.
Right.
And this is like, wait, is there more?
There's a little bit more. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, is like, which part of those things, like if you needed to buy land and pay for labor, it would be helpful if you just had $1 million to play with, how much of it was taxed. But anyway, let's go. Dr. Parik Patel comes back. Bro, I don't know where you shop, but if you pay $1 per tomato, you're defo getting ripped off. Nick Huber says, you're a poor salesman. And then somebody says, Benetta said, have you harvested tomatoes like ever? Which is a funny rhetorical question, because obviously not. 1 to 25 to 625 never happens. It's not software that it'll scale so fast. And when you do sell them, you'll have to pay taxes as well. And his only response is, you are a poor farmer. Which, like, again, this is why, like, I am a little bit sus that this is a bit. But if it is, it's just like, it's so genius. Yeah. Was there more you wanted to say there?
Oh, I mean, I like this a lot. just, since we have spent some time looking at hustle culture. Because, for these people, they sit on the sidelines, and they just like think of ways they spend all their time like consuming nonsense from wealthy people. And these wealthy people write books trying to excuse the amount of not just exploitation, but like luck, and random chance and things that happen in their life that, provided them with fortune. Right. And these guys sell them these books, and then these morons like this guy, they consume it. And if you really believe it, right, you have to spend all of your time. It's like the opposite of like Occam's razor, right? Like instead of keeping things simple, right, they need to convolute every kind of like transaction. So instead of taking the most simple thing, right, which is taking $1 million versus $50 a month, they have to come up with more and more and more and more absurd reasons as to why doing the common sense thing is wrong, because that's the only way that they can justify like the hustle and grind culture that they have, right? It's like anything that you think is natural or correct is actually why you're not a millionaire, right? And I'm the only one who understands this, this kind of like bizarre system. And that's why I'm going to make my million sooner or later.
Yeah, and I always love how these startup fetishists, one, you just completely gloss over the concept of startup costs to a business when you just say, my tomato thing's going to start up. But also just the impression that they give, like this is a golden era for startups. Whereas if you look at, I believe it's like the Kaufman Foundation, who does a lot of interesting work on venture capital and how it's all basically fraudulent. Basically wait for venture capitalists to take fees and bet on big investments. And if they turn into Amazon, then you get a lot of money. If they don't, you got a lot of money in fees. But also just the general message, which is that it's never been better to start your own business. Like, it's just great. Starting your own business is easy. That's all you need to do. When actual numbers are, it's been harder and harder since the 70s. There are less and less new businesses year over year, just a complete, like, because we have rising monopolization in this country, and also you need basically access to capital to start a business, and that is becoming less and less available to people, and basically you need to know rich people to do it now.
But that's why it's so funny about these guys, because like they're not even good capitalists. Like, this is capitalism 101, is like get big investment to be able to do big things. And like this guy's operating on the opposite logic, which is get really small investment, get the smallest investment that you can possibly find, and then you can do big things.
Yeah, so he's legit. He changed his changed his bio to Nick Tomato King Huber, and it says, what you read here is my always changing philosophy on business, real estate, and life. Self-storage owner, operator. Oh, yeah. So that's where, it's sweaty startups,
that's where he's
baby.
Putting all of his tomatoes.
Exactly. It's hydroponic tomatoes. And if
in
you go
Georgia,
back,
which is, a nice place, but I wouldn't reckon that it is probably the number one tomato. That's the other thing that's funny too. It's like, you can have a nice home garden for a lot of these things, but there's a reason that like industrial farming gravitates towards certain places, notably like California, for growing things like that, because they have good climates for growing lots and lots and lots of tomatoes, right? And to like do those kind of things at that scale there requires incredible amounts of like industrial farm equipment.
I mean, and just labor too. I mean, maybe you're $50, you can figure that out, but you got to be pretty creative, I think. Oh, yeah, man. Well done, Nick Huber. Thanks for keep posting through it. He just posted a thread 14 hours ago, how to turn $1 million into a lot more as you buy self-storage facilities. So it's just amazing. He's figured it out. Oh, sorry. There's one other thing I needed to tack on here, and since it's
because the funniest thing about him is he acts like he's the one who discovered farming.
Yes, exactly.
He's like the first person to think about this before.
And so this is a from the Michelin Web look, I believe.
Top class show.
Yeah, it was very, very funny, and we won't talk about
Robert Webb's
politics.
And honestly, they're funny.
Yeah, right.
It's very funny, honestly.
His politics or
yeah, his politics are just so insanely bad and normie.
considering his peep show character, it is very funny. Anyway, this is a David Mitchell, the other half of the comedy duo, talking about farming, and one of my favorite sketches here.
Or don't kill it. Hey, you want to make a bit of money? You should do what I did. Get into farming. See this? I got this selling corn. Comes out of the fucking ground. I couldn't believe it. You see that? It's made of chicken. It's actually made of chicken. You kill it, you got free chicken. You can sell it to people. Or don't kill it. Fucking eggs come out of their arses. Fucking hell. You know sheep? Bit woolly. It's wool! Pull it off, sell it, fucking grows back again. You cannot lose.
That's good enough. But, yeah, so well done, Tomato King.